In this two-part episode, we take you around the Ikebukuro neighborhood with us as we discover more of what it has to offer. We also make our way to Sunshine City, a massive complex which is a city within a city, while discovering some great food spots along the way. Speaking of great food, let's start our adventure with some tendon at a great little mom and pop shop we found. Lunch was amazing.
Lunch was so good and so cheap.
Yeah, so we went to another tendon place and we were almost going to go to the same place we went a couple days ago, but decided to try something different, and I'm really glad we did. Yes. Because this place was a total mom and pop shop.
It was. It really did see the mom and pop.
Yeah.
Or is it pop and daughter?
I don't know, it's hard to tell exactly, but that place has been there forever.
You can tell.
Yeah, and they would do some really good tendon.
Serious tendoning. And you can tell they've been there forever because it's showing its age, but not in a bad way. More like we're an institution and we're not going anywhere, and people are gonna come eat with us because they know us and our food is good.
Yeah. So we both ordered different sets. I got like a massive bowl which had 2 shrimp, had 2 pieces of fish, squid, some kind of leaf, a shiso leaf or something, yes. Deep fried, some nori deep fried, probably some other stuff I can't remember now, but it was excellent.
Mine had 4, count them, 4 shrimps. It didn't have anything else. So you'd have to be a shrimp lover like me if you want to appreciate my meal. I didn't get any vegetables or anything, but 4 shrimps. And both our meals were only 10,000 each? Or
yeah,
1,000 each?
1,000 each.
1,000 each, not 10,000, 1,000. So that was a really good deal.
Yeah, it was really good. And it was on a different area of around the train station than when we've been so far. It's on the north end. So we're sitting in front of the west exit, but the restaurant was sort of in some older buildings on the north side. So kind of cool area over here.
Do you want to describe what the restaurant format is like? Because we don't have a format like that at home.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't film and talk in there, because they just move people through really quickly. People come in, eat, and leave, basically. It's not a place you sort of dilly-dally.
Yeah, they said 15 minutes is the average time you spend in there, in and out.
Yeah, so you go in, they have a very small menu. I think they had about 10 items, 10 different versions of tendon, and then you just sit down, you put your order in, she gives you a glass of water, and then
it's all counter space.
Yeah, it's all counter space. You're just sitting at a counter around where she's working, and then behind her is the chef frying all the actual tempura. And then she had an interesting system actually with chips. So she had a little bucket of chips, like poker chips, and they were all different colors. I guess they had one color for each bowl. And then once you ordered, she put a chip down on her side of the counter so she could remember what everybody's order was. And then she would call it off to the chef, and he'd go and start making it.
It was a completely streamlined process.
Yeah, so we didn't want to waste their time too much. It wasn't like crazy busy, but there were a lot of people coming and going. There was never anyone waiting.
No.
But we just didn't want to be a nuisance.
Well, plus we were shoulder to shoulder with everybody, so there wasn't much option.
Yeah, so we did film a little bit of us eating so you could see what the place was like and the food. But yeah, really great place. We're gonna be going back there for sure, at least once before we leave.
There's a lot of places
Tokyo.
we're going back, eh?
Yeah, it's true. But that is a place you don't like at home.
It was a gem.
You never get.
Yeah, like a true mom and pop shop. It was a real gem. The quality was good. It was cooked with love. So I'm happy we went, and now we are off.
Yeah, off to finish Friday.
Oh yeah.
It's Friday, yeah. So I worked at the Starbucks again this morning, and then just have a couple hours to put in this evening, and then I'm done, and it's our weekend. We've been living in this Airbnb for pretty much exactly a week now, and we really are settling in. It's really starting to feel like home. We really love the neighborhood, and the Airbnb itself, we like that's nice and cozy, but it's missing a few things that would make it that much more livable. Namely, some storage and some way to hang these towels so that they actually dry. We've been using damp towels every morning because they're just not drying draped over this coat rack here. So we're gonna head out to a 100 yen store. A 100 yen store is basically a dollar store, except the quality of the goods they sell is way higher, way better than you would get back home in a dollar store. And they have a lot of great homewares there. So we're sure to find some solutions to our storage problems and something to help us with these towels. So let's go out to a 100 yen store and see what we can come up with. During the week, I noticed that some sort of float was being set up, and it's great to see they finally got it done and it's out on the road. We've made it to a 100 yen shop. We've come to Daiso, and we've come to these many times in Japan. They have really great stuff. This one looks like it's a little bit small, so we're hoping we're gonna find what we need. Let's get in there and check it out. We always love exploring 100 yen shops and seeing all the products that are unique to Japan. It kind of gives you a glimpse into what everyday life is like in Japan, because some of the items are things you just will not find at home because we don't need them. For example, check out these Onigiri Tupperware, specifically created to make sure your onigiris don't get crushed. And because clothes dryers aren't very common in Japan, you'll find a lot of interesting items related to drying your laundry. For example, these things here are clips to hold your futon duvet down so it doesn't blow off your balcony as you're trying to dry it. We're in here for a couple of very specific items. We need some suction cup hooks that we're going to try and use to hang up our towels back at the Airbnb. I'm also looking for a storage box to hold a bunch of my electronics odds and ends together so it doesn't look so messy strewn about the Airbnb. TGIF, it's Friday. Almost Friday for me. I still have a couple calls to make tonight at midnight, but I did most of my work earlier in the day, so we get to enjoy a Friday night together on the couch, watch some YouTube and relax and get the weekend started. We have a very interesting mix of food. Nicole has made something from scratch at home, and I have sort of made, no, I just basically heated food up. I can't claim that this was made at home. So Nicole, what do you got?
Nicole has made and eaten half of her dinner already. I made, I invented it, so I actually don't have a name right off the bat. So I got fancy pork. I got 2 different types of mushrooms. One's an oyster mushroom, and the other one is like a wild mushroom that I'm not quite sure what the Japanese name for it is. And then I got sesame oil, garlic, and this gigantic life-size it's a green onion, but you took a photo of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's humongous. So I used half of that in this dish, and finally I had sesame sauce, and I fried it all together, and it's so delicious. That's why I can't stop eating it, even though I should be filming. This has been so fun. I love cooking in our Japanese apartment. At home, I'm not so keen about cooking, but when I'm here, just looking at all the groceries, I just feel really inspired. Just want to use all the groceries and use the meats and make my own creations.
It smells really good. It must be good because you are devouring it pretty quick. Don't forget to leave me some.
Okay.
And I do have a very odd mix. I again felt like curry, so I have curry rice with some deep fried croquettes. They're a little bit mystery. I kind of translated them on the fly in the store, but 2 of them I think have pumpkin in them. One of them is chicken and cheese, and then one complete mystery. I have no idea. And this is a different curry than yesterday, or was it yesterday? Probably yesterday. This is an S&B curry. And then I also have some sashimi and some inari, which is rice wrapped in a kind of sweet bean curd, and that's my dessert. And since it's Friday, I am going to enjoy a Sapporo. So let me get into some of these croquettes and see what's what. I'm into croquette number 1, and I think it's like a mashed potato with vegetables mixed into it. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's not blowing me away, but what blows me away is that this came out of a case at the grocery store and it was cold, and I threw it in the toaster oven and it's crunchy again, and it tastes pretty fresh, which is amazing. I'm thinking this might be good dipped in the curry sauce. Let's give that a try. That elevates it a little bit. It's just a little bit bland on its own, but the curry obviously punches it up a little bit. I think I'll try this one next. This is the pumpkin one. It's sticking to my rice here. Let's see what this looks like inside. That is definitely pumpkin. Well, it's kabocha squash, which here they call pumpkin. It's not like what we would call pumpkin in North America. That one's so good. I am not going to dip that in the curry sauce. All right, once I finish these croquettes, I'll bust into this, what I think is chicken and cheese, and show you guys what that's all about. Okay, I'm into the chicken now, and this is the surprise star of the meal. I'm actually quite surprised how good this is. It's like a big piece of breaded chicken, and looks like a slice of cheese they've put on one side and then breaded it and deep fried it, and it is really good. The cheese comes through really well, and the chicken's moist, and because of the magic toaster oven here, the outside is crispy again. That combination of the cheese, which isn't like a super powerful cheese, it just gives a nice kind of like, sort of like mozzarella kind of flavor to the chicken, and that is very yummy. So I'm gonna finish up this plate and see how full I am and if I'll be able to bust into any of this sushi. That curry rice with those croquettes and that chicken and cheese was really good and very filling. I don't know if I can bust into this sushi. I don't know. It's a lot of food here. That's rice and fit. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. All right, let's see if I can get in here with one hand. So the fish and the rice are separated. This is some really nice looking tuna. Little bit of hash there, it looks like. And then 5 solid pieces of sashimi. So I just need to mix up some wasabi and soy sauce, and then we'll bust into this. All right, we got some wasabi mixed up here. Let's get a piece of this fish. Just season it lightly. Right off the bat, I'm going to say it's better than the stuff we had bought for Typhoon Haggis. It's got a good texture. It's nice and soft. It's not super chewy. Easy to bite, as you can see. The one we had the other night was a bit stringy, but it meant too much membrane in it or something. So this is really good fresh tuna. So I'm going to try and polish this off with some of this rice and see if I can then bust into the inari, which is kind of sweet like I mentioned, so I like that as my dessert. I almost did it. I ate pretty much all that fish. I saved Nicole 2 slices to try, and I did about 3/4 of that rice. So now it's time to try one of these inaris. Here it is. So like I said, it's a rice ball wrapped in this bean curd wrap, and it's a little bit sweet. The wrap is a lot thinner than I was expecting. Usually I think when I get it, it's quite a bit thicker. Just really thin wrap, but it is glazed with something really sweet. It's really good. It's hitting the spot. It's like a good little bit of dessert, I guess, minus all that rice. I don't really need all that rice, but the sweetness kind of just polishes off the meal. So that is going to be it for me, I think, tonight. I am going to just sit here and digest for a bit before work starts up again, and then I'm going to go straight to bed and enjoy hopefully sleeping in tomorrow. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Saturday. Our first post-working Saturday and non-Haggis Saturday. We can actually go out there today. Yeah, we can actually go out there today. And it's the morning still. And we decided that we're going to show you what we got from the 100 yen store yesterday. You saw us go into Daiso and pick up a few things to solve a few problems. And we're going to do that right now before we get out for the day. So let me show you what I'm talking about in terms of mess. So we're sitting on our couch looking at the TV. And you can see the mess beside the TV, which extends over to our dresser, which continues to extend over here beside the front door, where all my clothes are starting to pile up on top of our luggage because this dresser is just not big enough for 2 people. So needed a little storage bin of some sort to help me organize this stuff, and then something to do with these clothes. And Nicole has had piles of clothes around as well. And then over in the other side of the place, by the beds and the patio, is this coat rack, which has just ended up being where we drape all of our wet towels. And that doesn't look so hot. and they're not drying very well. So we wanted to try and do something about that. We were slightly disappointed with that Daiso though, over at Sunshine City, a shopping complex. It was pretty small. It didn't have a lot of selection. So we had a hard time finding the exact thing that we were looking for. If you go to a big Daiso, they have so many different options of pretty much everything that they sell that you can find something very specific to what you need.
It's very ironic because whenever we do not need a dollar store or 100 yen store, we find massive ones. And usually they're two massive brands competing against each other across a section for each other. But now that we actually need something, it was one tiny little convenience store, or tiny little 100 yen store.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. But we found a few things that we think will help. So show them what we got for clothes.
This was 300 yen, so about $3.60 Canadian, and it's a collapsible container. It actually opens up to quite big, and it's really sturdy. I like the material. It's like kind of feels natural, but inside has a polyester filming to it, so it's very, very smooth on the inside, so kind of like water resistant, and the outside has a nice like natural feel to it. So this should hold a bunch of our clothes. It's like having an extra drawer in the house.
Yeah.
So we got 2 of those.
And then to try and tidy up my electronic stuff that has kind of strewn everywhere, I got a box. Here, do you want to show the box?
It's a pretty box. It's frosted.
Very nice.
It's a nice shape. It's stackable, so if it does work out, we can go back and pick up more. And what was this, 100 or
200 yen?
200 yen.
So $2.40.
Canadian. Not bad for a nice box.
Yeah. So that should hold quite a bit of that electronics mess.
I like that stackable.
Yeah. And the neat thing about what we've picked up is that they can slide under the furniture. That's what we were kind of looking for. So we don't want these things just kind of hanging around everywhere. We want to be able to tuck them away so that
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, the space looks a little bit bigger again. And then the last thing we tried were the suction cups. These are for the towels. These were a bit of compromise, because we went into another 100 yen store earlier in the week and saw some really big suction cups that look like they would really hold a lot of weight. These should hold 1 kilogram, which should be way more than enough for our towels. So we're gonna figure out a place to put these up and test that out. One nice thing about the suction cup is that if we don't like where we put them, we can move it around. So I have an idea of where I want to try it and hope it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll put it inside the shower somewhere. All right, let's start cleaning up.
Can you believe that 900 yen solved a lot of our problems?
No, basically almost $12, and that made a huge difference. Look at how our clothes have been organized. Here's Nicole's. She's got a bunch of her clothes tucked in there, and here's mine.
I guess you went for the Marie Kondo rolling effect.
I did. Look how well that worked.
Yeah, it did.
So you can see all the t-shirts sticking out, so you know which is which when you want to pull one out to wear it. So I got t-shirts in here, a couple button downs, and some sweaters.
Yeah, these are a really good find, because when we can take them home, we can reuse them for various things in our house.
Yeah, they collapse down pretty good. And then I just put my jeans and the bulkier stuff then could fit in the drawer in the dresser. So let's go take a look at the dresser, and then we'll show you where we're stashing these clothes baskets to keep them out of the way. Here's the TV area now. There's actual clear space. And all the clothes are put away. I mean, the bags still look a little bit messy, but that's a lot better than it looked before. And I just stashed the basket and a couple things underneath the TV stand. And the clothes baskets will tuck nicely under the couch and keep those out of the way. Here's my basket. Just put it right there and pull it out when I need to get something and push it back under.
Yeah, it's really hidden. You can't see it at all.
That works out perfectly. And then here's your basket. There we go. Much tidier. If only we could do something about power cords, but those are what they are, I guess. That looks really good. And here's how the towels look now. So the coat rack's actually just holding our coats, and these suction cups I think are gonna hold and do a good job. So we'll probably pick a couple more up and put 2 more here for extra towels. Works perfectly. So 900 yen, that's not bad to make a big difference to the little apartment here. I got stuff sort of sorted in their place, and that will help us keep it a little bit more organized, because it doesn't take long to just sort of explode. You know, we tidy it up and then by the end of day it just has exploded and everything's everywhere again. So really happy with that. We'll probably pick up a few more suction cups like I said, but we're done tidying the apartment for Saturday. It's time to go out and start having some fun. We're gonna go have lunch. It's been something we've been craving for a while now, and we're gonna go scratch that itch today, and we'll take you along with us. There seems to be a trend developing here which is a little bit unnerving, and that is that our first choice of restaurants that we're hitting up are closed. So we picked the place we wanted to go to for lunch, and it is closed for some reason. It's supposed to be open at 11:30, so we've walked around and found another place, and we're gonna go up there and check it out. Let's go. Going up an elevator to a higher floor in a building to find a restaurant is a very common experience in Japan, and one that took us a few trips to get used to. But once you do, you'll find all sorts of options beyond just what you see at street level, like this little yakiniku restaurant. You'll find little boxes or cubbies like this to store your stuff at a restaurant, and using them in a barbecue restaurant is especially important to try and keep your clothes from smelling like a grill. We've put in an order, going to enjoy a beer, getting our sauces ready, and looking forward to starting our day with some grilled meats at our table. That ended up being really good, eh?
That was very tasty.
Despite it being our second option, because option number 1 was closed.
I hate when you have something in your mind and then it doesn't go according to plan, and you kind of have to reel and rethink about things.
Especially when you're hungry.
Yes.
That's hard to do when I'm feeling hangry. I'm like, oh, why aren't you open? But it worked out.
It did.
So what did you think of this place?
I think first and foremost, I thought it was incredibly good value. The meat was very tasty, but for $10 Canadian, about
12 bucks Canadian.
12 bucks Canadian, we got super tasty meat. We got a big bowl of rice. We got
soup.
Yeah, it was very flavorful soup. We got 3 good tasty side dishes, and an all-you-can-eat salad buffet.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
It was a good deal, and the meat was really good despite the price. Like, it was a really tasty quality meat. We got the short rib, the Japanese short rib, and the finger meat, and I definitely would have to call out the short rib as my favorite.
Yeah, you love the short rib.
Yeah, the finger meat was pretty chewy.
How would you describe finger meat? Like, what is finger meat?
It's the bit of meat that's in between the rib bones.
Because usually people eat the rib like this, right? You hold the bone and you go So this time they've taken the bone off for you, and they've just served you the meat that's in between the bones.
Yeah.
Which I like that more, because I really like this little silver skin that comes between the meat there.
Which is probably the chewy bit.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
But you don't like that as much.
Not as much. I like the softness and the butteriness of the short rib.
Yeah, that's why we ordered 2 different types of meat, so we can try and we each get what we want.
Yeah, so luckily we're here for a couple more weeks, and we could try to go to that other place again, because it also looked really promising.
Yeah.
So I'm sure barbecue is going to be something we'll hit up a couple of times. So I'm feeling pretty satisfied, but I still have a bit of an edge. So
you need something to satisfy your sweet tooth.
I do, yeah. So we're gonna probably pass by a kombini, because when you're walking Japan, you inevitably pass by a kombini. So I'll pop in and get something. And we're actually headed to Sunshine City, the place we went last night to the 100 yen shop. We want to explore it a little bit more. We didn't have time yesterday. We were kind of in and out. But today we can walk around a bit, and it's supposed to rain, so it's a perfect thing to do. Let's get moving. As predicted, it didn't take long to find a konbini, so I popped in there and picked up a couple of things. This is my first hot drink. It's hot drink season here in Japan, so you can go to a hot fridge and they'll have various canned coffees and bottled drinks to choose from. It was a hard choice for me today, but I settled on a milk tea because I know this has a nice sweetness to it, and that's kind of what I'm craving right now. But before I bust into that, I am going to eat my steamed bun. I got another black sesame steamed bun. This one is the Family Mart version. What I had the other day was 7-Eleven. So you can see it comes in its package. It's branded. The Family Mart one's definitely better. The filling's creamier. It's got more black sesame kick to it. The bun is pretty dense. Can't remember how the other bun was, but this one's really dense. This is hitting the spot after that barbecue. So we're almost at Sunshine City. I just gotta finish this up. I'm gonna eat it outside the Family Mart. They tend to frown upon you walking and eating on the street. So I'll just finish this up here and then we'll head out to Sunshine City. Thanks for joining us for part 1 of our exploration of Ikebukuro. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell so you don't miss part 2 where we'll finally make it to Sunshine City. See you next week.